The cemetery was silent under the warm Philadelphia morning. White funeral drapes moved gently in the breeze as mourners dressed in black stood around an open grave. A gold-sheened casket rested beside it. Inside lay Samantha Fairchild, the powerful CEO of Vantage Tech Industries, her skin pale, eyes closed, looking unmistakably dead. Her husband Peter stood stiffly nearby, a white handkerchief clenched in his fist, while the pastor prepared the final prayer. The grave workers stepped forward to lower the casket. Suddenly a voice thundered through the silence. "Stop, don't bury her." Everyone turned. Phones were raised. From the back of the crowd, a man in a worn blue work uniform forced his way forward. His hair and beard were unkempt, his face thin from hardship. But his eyes were sharp and fearless. A badge on his chest read Micah Dalton. He pointed at the casket and spoke clearly. "She's not dead." "Don't bury her," whispers spread. Security moved to stop him, but Micah slipped past and stood before the casket. He explained that Samantha had been given a drug that slowed her heartbeat and cooled her body, making her appear dead. He demanded an antidote be given immediately. Shock rippled through the crowd. Peter angrily ordered Micah removed, insisting his wife was dead. The family doctor, Mason Keating, stood nearby, visibly tense. Micah accused both Peter and the doctor, saying he had overheard their plan for a quick burial. The crowd grew uneasy. A woman stepped forward, saying if there was even a small chance they should check. Pressure mounted. Against Peter's protests, people agreed to let Micah try. Micah knelt beside the casket, gently lifting Samantha's head and removing the cotton from her nostril. He produced a small vial, explaining it was the antidote. The sun broke through the clouds as he prepared the dropper. With everyone holding their breath, he released a drop into Samantha's mouth. Nothing happened. A second drop followed. Then a faint sound escaped Samantha's chest. Her throat twitched. Chaos erupted as she coughed weakly. Her hand moved. Her chest began to rise and fall. She was alive. As people cried and prayed, Peter's face twisted with rage. He reached into his coat, pulling out a syringe, but security restrained him. Samantha's eyes fluttered open. Weak but conscious, she looked at Peter and whispered one word. "Why?" The syringe fell from Peter's hand. He was arrested as the truth came into the open. Dr. Mason broke down, exposed for signing a false death certificate. Samantha, supported by Micah, confronted them both, devastated by the betrayal. Police sirens filled the cemetery as Peter was dragged away. Later that night, Samantha invited Micah to her estate. In her quiet study, she thanked him for saving her life and gently asked about the pain she saw in his eyes. Micah finally spoke of his past. Once a software engineer, he had lost his job, then his family, discovering his daughter was not biologically his. His life collapsed into homelessness until he found work as a cemetery night watchman. That night, he overheard Peter and the doctor planning the burial. Unable to stay silent again, he chose to act. Samantha, deeply moved, knelt before him and told him he had not failed at life. She promised him a second chance just as he had given her one. In that quiet moment, both began to heal. A week later, the courtroom was packed as the trial of Peter Fairchild and Dr. Mason Keating began. Samantha entered alive, steady but strong, supported by Micah and her aunt. Peter sat cold and defiant. Evidence was presented: the syringe, the toxin, and witness testimony. Micah took the stand and calmly told the court what he had heard and seen at the cemetery. Despite attempts to discredit him, Micah spoke with quiet truth, admitting his past but standing firm in his honesty. The courtroom listened in silence. Additional witnesses confirmed the cover-up. Experts explained how the drug mimicked death. Peter's lies unraveled. Dr. Mason confessed under pressure. The court saw clearly what had been attempted: murder disguised as grief. As the trial continued, the nation watched. Samantha fought not only for justice, but for her life and dignity. Peter's power crumbled, while Micah, the man everyone once overlooked, became the key witness who saved her and exposed the truth. By the end, it was clear this was more than a case about betrayal and greed. It was about redemption. Samantha had returned from the edge of death, and Micah had reclaimed his purpose. Two broken lives, brought together by courage, stood in the light after surviving the darkest moment imaginable.